We'll be serving the entire city tomorrow.
Yeah. Get there early.
Yes.
Good evening. Thank you guys for coming out on the first night after Thanksgiving break. And trust me, I realized it was really short notice. We were playing with a couple dates, either today or Wednesday. We ended up going with today. The reason being is a lot of folks have a lot of activities going on Wednesday nights, especially at this time of year, and we're hoping to try to avoid conflict. We are live streaming this. It will be recorded. So if you have anybody that you know that was at your middle school that was unable to attend, then you can refer them to the recording. That will be available through our website and our YouTube channel. Okay, so we'll make that information available to you guys. So welcome to Southside High School. One of the things that we've worked on over the last year and a half is to try to develop a culture here where you and your students feel like you belong. You're welcome here. This is your home. You're going to spend 4 years with us, and we want those 4 years to be the best 4 years of your school career. So often we lose track of that. We understand that we are a large high school. We have a lot of students. We have some things built in to try to help prevent that loss of connection with kids. One of those things would be our advisory periods, where we have students assigned to faculty advisors that will follow them all 4 years that they're here. And those groups are no larger than about 18 and 19 students. So that should give those students a place to connect, that trusted adult that they can connect with as they go throughout the year. If we need to swap to advisors, that's something that we've done in the past. So let's take a look at what we're here for tonight. What is our purpose? What are we trying to accomplish? One of the things we want to share with you is some of the great things that are going on here at Southside High School. Well, I'll let you know what the vision for Southside High School is. What do we want to be able to do as we move forward? And what can you expect from us with regards to how we approach education and treat your child? Some of the other things that we want to talk about. Schoology and NAGINS. You may not have ever heard of what NAGINS is. Schoology, you guys should be familiar with this year. I think the middle schools have been using it for about 2 years. Some of the other things we're going to talk about, something called the STAR Academy of Innovation. Okay, that's going to be something that you guys will have an opportunity to get involved with. There's some information right outside, but I'm going to have Ms. Adams come up and talk to you for a few minutes specifically about what is the STAR Academy of Innovation. Some other things we're going to talk to you about is scheduling. Right now, home access is open for high school students to be able to make those course selections. I know 8th grade students, you guys aren't as familiar with what home access center is. You may be. But one of the things that you're going to start learning is actually how to get into eSchool, the home access center, and track your progress, track your attendance, and then sign up for classes. Now, we'll touch on a little bit of that. We won't go real in-depth because you're going to have counselors come to your school from Southside on Friday. You're going to be handing out course selection sheets to you, school and get those input for you so you don't actually have to put that information in open access. We'll try to streamline that process for you. Additionally, in a couple of weeks, and Ms. Williams, one of our counselors, will speak to this here in a few minutes. In a couple of weeks, our counselors will actually be on site at the middle schools, I believe, to help walk students through that process. We're still in the process of working out what that looks like. Some of the other things that you might learn about tonight is what does it look like to be involved in the Peak Innovation Center? And so Dr. Udall and Peak will be here. Okay? So that's kind of what the purpose is for tonight. That's a lot to get in 30 minutes. So I'm going to try to move on. So what is the vision here at Southside High School? We want to be able to create a learning environment that includes all students. A place where all students belong. As we understand, right now we have about 850 students. It's important for us that each one of those 1,850 students has a place to plug in. That's why we have over 50 student-led clubs and organizations. Just a small number of those are out in the hallway with the electric fair. We have groups that students can be involved in that will meet them where they are and hopefully help them plug in. What we have found is that students that are involved, whether it be in clubs, organizations, or extracurricular activities, whether it be athletics, band, choir, orchestra, or some of the other performing arts, they do better, a lot better academically in their high school career than students that are not involved. So we encourage all students to find a place that they can plug in. This is their school. Those student-led clubs and organizations are places that they can plug in and feel like they belong. Notice we want to be focusing on some high achievement. We want our students to be ready, more prepared for what is next. Oftentimes you hear people talk about college or career. We don't want to talk about college or career because the end goal is a career. So we want to talk about college and career. Because whether you leave Southside High School and go straight into the career field, or you leave Southside High School and go to a 2-year or 4-year institution, the end goal is we want you to be career ready at the end of that, whatever is next to you. So we want students to be able to achieve at high levels so that they can be ready for whatever is next. So we're going to expect them to move in that direction. We also want them to be service-minded. So all of our clubs and organizations, they have built-in community service activities that are required of students. National Honor Society has a certain number of community service hours and credits that they need to get in here in a few minutes. Mr. Adams is going to talk to you about the community service learning credit that students can get. They can actually get credit towards graduation through community service. He's going to talk a little bit about how to track that. And then one of the things that we want them to be able to do is plug back into society. Portsmouth, as a community, is a great place to live. We love this community. We want our students, as they graduate, to want to be here, to want to stay here. If they go off to college, that's great. And we want them coming back and plugging into society. That's what our vision here speaks about. All right, so some of the things that we've got going on right here. We talk about great things going on, or good things going on at Southside High School. Having a freshman on campus has been an adjustment for us, but I'm going to be honest with you. It's one of the moves we should have made years ago. These freshman students on the middle school and junior high campus have been earning high school credit, but they've never felt plugged into high school. So they're earning high school credit on a junior high campus, but yet they're not truly locked into, okay, I'm in the high school mindset, I'm earning and building a high school transcript. And so what we saw was a lot of students coming to us having public credit over the last several years. By having freshmen on the high school campus, it opens up a whole lot of opportunities. Star Academy is one. Because we are going to talk about some different elective opportunities at some point in time. You see the elective fair out here, some things that students have access to that they wouldn't have normally have had access to at the junior high. So that's one of the good things that we've got going on. Some of the other things that we've got going on, I already talked about our student-led clubs and organizations. Some of the other things, you see this facility. You are sitting in what used to be the gymnasium at Southside High School. If you look around, it doesn't look like a gym. That space over there was the old cafeteria. By knocking those holes in the wall and expanding, you can now accommodate about 1,000 students at one sitting at lunchtime. If you look behind the screens, the lights are on, but we have our food service lines. It's almost like a small college food court. We can run 1,000 students through those lines in about 10 to 12 minutes. It gives them anywhere from 20 to 18 minutes to finish their lunch. One of the things that this common space gives us is a place for our students to come into on cold, rainy days. In the past, if you were a Southside alumni, if you're a graduate of Southside, you you might have realized out here in this main hallway, it got really crowded on rainy days or cold days. But now by opening up the commons, by opening up the media center, so we moved the office out front in this lower area out here, this media center, students now have lots of common space where they can go socialize. You guys will have access to the freshman center on the west end of the campus. So when we finish talking tonight, if you want to take a walk around, we make a big portion. You can walk down the north hall or the south hall all the way to the freshman center. And all of that space is dedicated to freshman social space. We do allow upperclassmen to transition through there on class changes. Or if they park in the west parking lot, they can come through, but they're not allowed to congregate in that space. That is dedicated solely for freshmen. We serve breakfast to freshmen down there. They can eat on the learning stairs. If they choose to bring their lunch, they can eat lunch down there. They don't ever have to come to the space. If they want to come get lunch here and go back and eat down in the freshman center, that is available to them. Some of our freshmen this year, we noticed, are a little bit more ready for intermingling with upperclassmen. We are not preventing freshmen from coming to the commons during lunchtime. They can come and eat if they so choose to, but they don't have to. Upperclassmen, they do have to be here. So these are some of the great things that we've got going on here at Southside. We're very excited about what the next several years hold for us. Some of the other things we want to talk about is Schoology. So let me see a show of hands. How many of you are familiar with Schoology and you're using it right now at your middle school? Okay, you put your hands down. If you are already connected with your student at the middle school, when they come up to Southside High School, that connection is going to hold. You're still going to be connected. If you are not connected with your student at the middle school right now, let me encourage you to do that. What does that do for you? Well, to be honest, my student is a 7th grade student at Chapman Junior High, and every week on Friday at 5 o'clock, I get an email of what his performance was that week. It tells me any assignments that he has upcoming, tells me any assignments that he's missing, and it gives me a grade report weekly. At the 9 weeks or a semester, I really don't need a report card because I get that weekly grade report sent to my email because of my parent access to Schoology. You're also going to see a code up there we created, a class of 2026. Moms and dads, your students are in the class of 2026. We created that group in Schoology. Your students can go ahead with their Schoology account and join this group. That way we can start providing information to them as we go for things that's upcoming this spring. To be honest with you, I got feedback from some of you guys that you just heard about this event today, maybe last night at the earliest. One of the things that we realized is I don't have access to you right now. The middle schools have access to you, and so we have information to them to push out to you. One of the things that we can do with this group, if your student joins this group, we can kind of bypass that. We utilize Schoology. It's essentially the heartbeat of our school. It looks like a Facebook post, so we put our daily announcements out there. So if you want to see what's going on at Southside High School, you can have your student log in and say, hey, show me your feed, your Schoology. Let me see what's going on. Daily, the announcements are posted there. Students have access to updates from their teachers through Schoology. You can track their academic progress. You can drill all the way down to individual assignments and see what's going on there. So, if you haven't already connected with your student at the middle school through your Schoology Parent access, let me encourage you to do that now. Okay? I see a lot of you taking pictures of this access code. How many of you have ever joined, your students have joined groups on Schoology or your computer? Okay. Next Monday, December the 6th, right here in this facility, we're going to hold a help session, a home access center help session for parents. You guys are not going to be utilizing home access center to register for your classes. However, if you go home and you realize that, hey, I'm struggling getting logged into Schoology or getting my student signed up, if you come next Monday night, we will walk you through the process of getting your students signed up in this group so that they can have access to all this information. Okay? Anybody have questions on Schoology and what that looks like? All right. This next piece of information is NAVNets. And I'm going to let Ms. Williams here in just a few minutes talk more about NAVNets. But it's one of the things that your student will need to become very familiar with. And you can read the slide up here, but just want to give you some information about what it can do for you. You can have access to tons of scholarship information. I believe the common app is available through Naviance as well. So you can actually build a portfolio that colleges and universities can have access to through Naviance. And we can share that information. A lot of times, official transcripts are shared to students through Naviance, and those can be made available through college and university as well. But I don't want to steal all of Ms. Williams' thunder, so I'm going to leave that off now. She may mention that again in a few minutes. Towards the end, we're going to talk about the community service learning credit. Those hours are also tracked in Naviance. So next year, when your student is campus and we start walking through lessons and how to get in and utilize Naviance, you're definitely going to want to be familiar with that. Okay, so briefly touching on high school graduation requirements. In Portsmouth, Arkansas, you are required to have 23 credits to graduate. 23 credits. Over a 4-year period of time, and we're on a 7-period day, you have 28 opportunities, right? 28 class periods to earn these 23 credits. But there are some things that could put that in jeopardy. Some of the conflicts. So, right now, the way it stands, if you want to be involved in JRTC and be a Southside student, you are more than welcome to do that. We don't currently have our own JRTC battalion. Portsmouth has one JRTC battalion, and that is housed at Northside. So our students that come to Southside High School, they sign up for 6th and 7th period JRTC so that they can transition during the 7th and 6th period and be involved with JRTC at Northside High School. They're still Southside students, but they attend that JRTC program at Northside. So you need to be aware as you go into scheduling over the next couple of weeks, 28 opportunities to earn those 23 credits. Okay, so what does that look like? 14 of those 23 credits are what we call core competencies, core requirements. 4 math, 4 English, 3 science, and 3 social studies. So put yourself in the mindset of a college freshman. Those 14 classes are your gen ed type requirements. Okay, there's some other requirements that are built into the other 9 credits, like PE and health and that sort of thing. Some of you guys may have been earning credits at your middle school. Some foreign languages, I think, are offered there. Maybe even the pre-AP physical science. Some of those opportunities there exist. But so be aware as you're planning for your schedule. The last statement I want to make sure that you're aware of. So one of the things that we want to make sure that we have students scheduled into are credit-bearing classes. Remember, I said we have 28 opportunities to earn those 23 credits. That leaves very few other opportunities to miss credit. We have found over the years that students signing up for study halls tend to not do a lot of studying during those study halls. It's not a great learning environment. So what we are doing, and we've done it in the past, COVID kind of threw a wrench in that. We've done it in the past, the study hall will not be available as an option to register for. Of course, our high school does the same thing. However, if your student needs some assistance with regards to credit recovery, then we can plug them into an extension or learning skills class to help them earn some credits. So those types of things are available. Okay? I know a lot of you guys are going to have some questions about that study hall situation. I'm happy to answer those at the end of this presentation. Okay? All right, at this point in time, I'm going to hand the microphone over to Ms. Williams. She's one of our counselors. She's going to go over what the scheduling process is actually going to look like for you over the course of the next couple of weeks.
Hey, I'm Ms. Williams. I am one of the 5 counselors here at Southside. Glad to see everybody here. I'm going to start off by saying for the 8th graders, we are going to visit Kathy and Ramsey this Friday. We are going to sit down with all the students and talk to them about next year and the first selection process. They're going to receive a if you have one thing to go to, this is it. It has everything. So that should be coming this week for your kids. Mr. Pruitt mentioned napkins. Parents do have napkins logins. We can get that to you. This is a very, it's a really great resource. We just went to the classroom and talked to students about this. You can pull up any college in the United States, just type it in, and it will give you every piece of information that you need to know. How many students are enrolled, the acceptance rate, if it's an all girls and all boys school, anything. Same thing with careers. If a student wants to know what a plumber does, they can pull that up. That's going to tell them if they need to do this or what price for that, how many years they need to go, and we can tell them what schools to go to. So it's just anything you could ever want to find out about, it's here. As seniors, we really want students to utilize it. As seniors, they can apply to colleges through this napkins, and they have to actually, some of them. So we want them to be familiar with it. They will request transcripts, even if it's far off, but we just want you to know it's here. There are also career interests and importance. So students that don't know what they want to do, this is a great place to start. You take personality tests and interest inquiries that will help guide them in the direction that fits their interests. So it's a great place to just look and you can see what their scores look like. So you kind of, hey, this is what I've seen on your test. Let's talk about this as far as career. Napkins is a great resource to have. We utilize it all the time, so please get familiar with that. There could be potential conflicts that we hope to smooth out as ninth graders coming in. Some kids want to take dance, and some kids want to play sport, and make it flip. So there's always the possibility that we have to make a choice. We don't want that to happen, but that does happen. But I don't want to mention that. With that comes disappointment. So that is something that you might consider. So just know that sometimes it's a great choice. Our school leader, the counselor is up here. If you will join our group, we will have the information, the course selection sheets, the course catalog, we'll have links to all of this. And we tell kids, if you don't take anything at all, check your school announcements, and as counselor, we put information on scholarships, the deadlines, anything that's going on in the counseling world, the college world, or the career world. We share deadlines, college coming to visit here, that's where we can see this stuff. So, or if we have colleges that are asking our kids to come visit them, we'll post this. So we have a one-stop shop here for the college and career. So I would really encourage you to join that group. So I guess we can back to Pruitt.
Okay, I do want to clarify one little bit of information. So in our 7th period day, currently freshman athletics is first period. Okay? Freshman band is 7th period. JRTC is 7th period. So there is one of those potential conflicts that Ms. Williams was talking about. So we're in the process of trying to alleviate a lot of those conflicts so that we give our students more opportunities. Because quite honestly, that's what we want you to be able to do is do what you want to do so that we can experience high school to the fullest. At this point in time, I want to ask Mr. Adams to come on up here and discuss, Ms. Adams, and discuss the STAR Academy of Innovation. It's a little bit of a unique program that we have here at Southside High School that gives students a little more control over their pace and place of learning. It's something that we piloted 2 years ago with our sophomore class. This year we opened it up with freshmen through juniors, and it's been a very good program for our school. And our kids are really experiencing a lot of success. Certain types of kids do better in the STAR Academy of Innovation than they do in a traditional classroom. Certain other types of students do better in a traditional classroom, where the teacher's setting the pace. So that's what we want to talk about, make it available to you, let you know about it. Okay, so right now, Mr. Adams.
Well, as Mr. Britt said, my name is Mrs. Adams. I am the math instructor in the Star Academy of Innovation. The cool thing about the Star Academy is that students have the opportunity to work at their own time, their own place, and their own pace. What that means is students who are gifted in some areas can accelerate through core classes to open up openings in their schedule for additional classes in their junior and senior year. Students who struggle in areas have additional time that they can go more slowly through those areas that they struggle with and get additional help. We do offer what we call minimum pacing because we want students to be successful and finish a class within the calendar year. But we understand that some students have difficulties in certain areas, and so we give them that opportunity. This is not a virtual option. The classes are hosted in Schoology. It is video-driven instruction, but we are there in the classroom every day to help students answer questions, administer their assessments, guide them as they work through. We've had a couple of successful students thus far. Last year, I had 3 young ladies who completed Algebra 2 and Pre-Cal in 1 calendar year, which is usually 2 full years. Those students are now working in AP classes and are going to have an extra class opportunity their senior year. We've had students who have accelerated through civics and economics and who are now moving on to American history in the same calendar year instead of waiting till the next year. And then we have other students who are pacing it day to day just to get through high school on their own terms. So those options are open. I do have some students here tonight, so if you're interested, please stop by. I'd be happy to talk to you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Adams. So what she was talking about is students have the opportunity to accelerate through their core classes, those 14 core competencies that I mentioned to you earlier, the 4 math, 4 language arts, 3 science, 3 social studies. Those core classes are offered within the Star Academy. Any type of elective, any type of AP level class, the students are going to have to come out of the Star Academy, and then they're on a traditional pace at that point in time. So now what we've got coming up is Mr. Josh Adams is going to talk to you about 2 topics. He's going to talk to you about the community service learning credit. You can actually get high school credit on your transcript for this particular course credit for doing community service that a lot of our kids do all the time anyway. They just don't log it and track it. And so there's a process for that. And then the next thing he's going to talk to you about is the capstone diploma, which is a fairly unique opportunity that we have here at Southside High School. Northside also has this. But it's something that he's going to go in depth on. It's a nationally recognized advanced placement diploma that colleges and universities will look at and accept your students in fall. So Mr. Adams is going to talk to us a little bit about these 2 topics.
So, Mr. Porter says there's 28 sections of time to get 22 credits. It's actually 29. Community service learning credit is not a scheduled hour. It is basically a way for them to be rewarded for the community service hours they do through their own service hours outside. If they work with Habitat, with the Boys and Girls Club, they work with the shelters, if they work through certain churches, those hours can be credited towards the student. And hours done through clubs, when you get 75 hours, you do make a monthly reflection of what you've learned from doing that service hours. And it becomes a non-weighted semester credit that counts towards graduation. Does not hurt your GPA, doesn't help your GPA. But you now have documented proof that you have done a large amount of community service on your transcript, so that you go apply for colleges and jobs, you have something to point at to say, hey, I have tried to make a difference. I have tried to get back to my community. And that's something that we're really trying to emphasize in the school. I do have a QR code up there that takes you to the current page. We're really be tweaking with the process. And you can sign up as soon as you get this house out. So day 1, you can come down to my room, you can get the form, you get the QR code, you take it to the Schoology group, and you can get enrolled. And then you can keep tracking your hours. And it can be done at any time. You can have it done in the first semester. You can have it done 2 weeks before you graduate. It does not matter when you turn your 75 hours, but that's something that you can definitely do. Okay? So the second thing we'll talk about is the capstone diploma. You probably heard that there's an honors diploma that you can get by following that skill aid, right? A pre-AP and AP classes? Yes, the honors diploma, if a student takes A pre-AP and AP classes, you get what's called an honors diploma, be a nice little shiny yellow tassel, it's pretty good. There is a third option called the capstone diploma, and this was designed in response to College Board, who runs the AP program, asking colleges, what do you need from students that we're not giving? They said, we need three things. Number one, we need students who can work with others, who don't try to do everything on their own, but have interpersonal skills, and can do it in a way that's successful. Number two, we need to be able to talk to adults in a professional manner, not be scared or timid, but be able to have those professional communications that they need to be successful in the job. And then third, it would be really nice if you had students who understood the research process. How do we look at stuff in college? How do we look at researching and understanding new information and then writing that position? So College Board went, they created two courses, AP Seminar and AP Research. AP Seminar is a prerequisite to AP Research. It teaches the first two of those three skills. It teaches you how to work with others. It teaches you how to talk to others. It teaches you so many other basic skills that ties into all of the other courses. How to write, how to do bibliographies, how to organize, how to learn sources, how to work with the project. And then AP Research, the students get to pick a topic of their own choosing that they will research and examine and do an actual, often a survey, experiment, project, and then they'll write a paper about it. And they'll do a 15-minute defense thesis. So if you've done an honors thesis before in college or senior project, had you do a defense presentation, this is what they're learning how to do. The AP capstone diploma requires you to have 6 APs passed. Not 3 APs, only APs. 2 of those have to be seminar and research. The benefits that we get from this has been very outstanding. Students who have done this have had many more opportunities to them when they go to college. 2 years ago, I had a freshman get accepted to George Washington, and she was offered a position working with the Eleanor Roosevelt Blood Title Project in Library of Congress as a freshman. That does not come to every student. I've had students who have published papers. I've had students who know they've got scholarship because they're going to be focused on their research and skills they already have. So it is a skill set program. It is not a content set program. That's what makes these two courses a little bit different. So I do have students who are completing the program that we have the capstone diploma. They're all in the table right next to the Star Academy dinner. Just all came in. We love talking about that.
Thank you very much, Mr. Adams. Correct me if I'm wrong, a couple of years ago, did we not have students actually have research papers published in scholarly journals as a result of work that they did? So imagine your student graduating high school and adding that to their resume as they're applying for colleges and they've been published in scholarly journals through some of the work that they've been able to do. Okay, so my next speaker is going to be Dr. Udaj from the Peak Innovation Center. He's going to come talk to you about the opportunities available to your students through the Peak Innovation Center. You heard Ms. Adams speak to you a little bit about some of the advantages that the Star Academy can give students. One of the things that we want to be able to do with students accelerating is to give them opportunities in their junior and senior year to be involved in the Peak Innovation Center, which would require a half a day to be off-site at the Peak Center, or to be involved in internships or work-related type projects. So I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Udaj right now. He's going to talk about the Peak Innovation Center.
Thanks, Mr. Kirk. I'm Gary Udaj, Director of Career Education and District Innovation for Portsmouth Schools. And we're excited about the Peak Innovation Center. Open it up here next semester. It's been a long project, and there's been a lot of talk about opportunity for your students tonight, and this is just one more set of opportunities. There's a real need in this community for more career and technical education opportunities for our students. Southside has a great career and tech ed program. This is something that kind of builds on that. And like Mr. Pruitt said, this would be a program for students in 11th and 12th grade. They would spend half a day at Southside and go out to Peak for half a day, or vice versa. We've developed new programs in partnership with the University of Arkansas Fort Smith through the WATSI program. We've got advanced manufacturing programs in computer-integrated machining, robotics and automation, industrial maintenance. In health sciences, we've got the LPN program, and CNA, some other medical office technology programs, emergency medical responder. And then information technology, we've got unmanned aerial systems and network engineering technology. So there's a lot of opportunity there. We're also developing a visual arts program that will begin next fall. So as an incoming ninth grader, how many of you guys right now are taking the Career Connections class in 8th grade? All right, so all of you, good. And so in that class, you guys are talking about what your career plans are for the future. You're thinking about some different pathways. You've been exposed to some of those career clusters. We've been trying to work more to expose students to those career opportunities earlier. So that actually, this year we started a class in 6th grade that talks about career connections. So in 8th grade, you've really got an idea. You've done some assessments, you've looked at your interests. So you can kind of look in some different directions. As a 9th grader, when you come in, there's several opportunities for you to take principals level classes. We have principles of IT, principles of advanced manufacturing, healthcare sciences, sports medicine, etc. So there's a lot of classes you can take here that will prepare you to go out to peak once you're in 11th grade. Also just could be something for you to check out and see if that's something you're really interested in or not. Again, this is all at no charge to students. You're still a student in the South Side. You're getting concurrent technical credits. You're getting college credit through the University of Arkansas Fort Smith when you go out to peak. And so students will graduate with 30 hours or more of college credit and be able to go right to work or continue their education. So it's just one more opportunity. It's exciting to get the freshmen in the South Side. Thanks for letting me talk.
Thank you very much, Dr. Young. And guys, at this point in time, that concludes our formal presentation. Now, we do have this elective fair set up out here that you can walk around and talk to students, talk to teachers about the electives that we have available here. Feel free to walk our campus, go check out the freshman center, walk down either the North Hall or the South Hall. You can take my contact information. Let's see if you have some questions that come up over the course of the next couple of weeks. Don't forget, next Monday night we have another information session here. It's a parent help night, so we're going to be available